Welcome to the next video here. We are at the Beach Waterpark in Mason, Ohio. All filming in this video was done on March 23rd, 2020. So, at midnight on the day of filming, the stay-at-home order for COVID went into effect. So there was not much of anybody out anywhere doing anything. And, the highway runs right next to this place, and there was hardly anybody on it. So the first thing we're going to look at here is something that's been closed much longer than any recent time of the park in its permanent closure. This looks like it's been closed for many, many years. Best I can figure, it was a log plume ride. This here looks like the splashdown area. I don't know the history of this. I'm sure an enthusiast from the Beach Water Park knows. If they do, you see this, leave something in the comments, because I'm curious. The log rides themselves, the cars are sit up the road there a ways, just robbing away. If you're curious where this is located in the park, I don't know how best to explain it. It's on the exact opposite side of like the wave pools. So the wave pools closest to like Kings Island, right? Go on the farthest other side of the park, if that makes any sense. And that's where all this stuff is. It's just kind of out in the woods. There are some other parts of the ride that have since collapsed, like something you'd walk up to get up to the top, where you would start from. But that is all that completely destroyed and collapsed. There's just a little bit of it left, and you can see the 3-tube slide off of there in the distance to give you a perspective of where we are. I think that explains it better than how I just did a minute ago. Funny, walking around the main building, one of the doors to the kitchen was just open, not shut all the way. Somebody had already been in there. So I popped in, but it's a kitchen. What can I say? Pots, pans, ovens. Nothing earth-shattering or particularly interesting in there. You see that door there? It's got a big old bar on it, but that doesn't help when the other door's left open. And you saw that generator there. I'm really surprised that people had not stolen stuff out of here. From what I could tell, everything looked pretty normal. I'll take this time here, walking around the wave pool, to advise you to stay away from this place. Remember, this was filmed on March 23rd, 2020, so over 6 years ago. All the stuff that you're seeing in the video, and you will see, is long gone. There's nothing of value there. There's nothing to steal. But what there is now is a new owner who's a lawyer, and I understand he's quite litigious. And there's lots of cameras and motion detectors and things like that. And the police do watch it quite carefully, and they're quick to respond out there. Yeah, there's a barrier gate that goes in, but they're just going to drive through the grass. They're going to get in there. So, stay away from this place. There's nothing in there for you. So we have about 4 minutes or so of moseying around the park here. The lazy river. You know, at the beach, they let people drink alcohol anywhere. So the kids would be off playing around in the pool or whatever while the adults got completely shit-faced and roasted in the sun while floated around in circles, drinking beers in the lazy river. I understand that the new owner is trying to sell all this stuff. I haven't been out this way in years, so for all I know, these rides are all completely gone now. I have encountered other people in here. I went here 2 or 3 times up until this point here, and I ran into some kids. There's hotels right up the road. The kids were just wandering around in there, checking things out. It's nice they weren't destroying anything or spray painting everywhere. I have rode that. I remember you got a big giant inner tube. It was very fast and very short. Much like my first time with a woman. I'll tell you a little secret about that yellow building right there. The bathrooms and the little restaurant. There's a service area right next to it where they store a bunch of junk. Old stuff from when they used to have Christmas celebrations there. Things like that. And there's a gate that opens right up. Again, never locked. Even when the park was open. You could just park in the parking lot, get out of your car, walk over there, right next to that thing on the side, and just walk in the side. This might be the most interesting thing I came across. At the back of the wave pool, here's this door, again, just hanging wide open there. And you're back inside the guts of the wave pool, all the pneumatics. This is where the magic happens, I suppose. Imagine how loud this must be when it's running. But even more interesting was this other door. The other door here goes into the maintenance area. And again, this stuff is not there anymore. This place was loaded with valuable items. I certainly hope that the new ownership was able to sell the stuff back here before people came in and stole everything. Because I did see that people stole all the arcade games. Like I mentioned, I'd been there 2 or 3 times week. I saw the games were all in there, and I came back the next week and the door to the arcade was busted and the games were gone. And again, it just gives that impression that they just clocked out and went home for the day. I mean, the power's even still on, you know. I also was looking around up by the offices at some footage that's not included here. And there was, a big giant security door. Now, that door is not opening, right? But what people do, they can't go through the door, so they just go through the drywall right next to the door and to get around that. And that's what my predecessor, whoever that was, had done. They just smashed through the wall next to it. But knowing this place had electricity, I wasn't about to go in there. I just stuck a flashlight in there, looked around, and off I went. Because I do not want to set off an alarm. But, it was just so surprising how everything was just open and unlocked here, and I really still, all these years later, I don't know what to make of it. Finally, we are in a storage area in a non-public section of the park. I don't know what that behemoth of a machine was that was just on the screen. It was very, very big. And there's a bobcat right there as well. Looks like they're ready to do some work, although it wasn't obvious by walking around. Looks like they moved the PT Cruiser with the bobcat, now that I look at it. Boy, that's a cool car. I mean, call it a PT Loser if you want, but I think they're cool. If I remember, that thing had a Nintendo Wii in the back of it. And they would take it to, parades and county fairs and stuff to promote the Waterpark. Well, I wonder where this thing is now. And that's going to be a wrap for this video. As always, I am grateful to you for giving me your time and your attention. And I have some big ideas coming that I'm working on. Hopefully I'll be able to get those done here in the fall. So until then, take care and be well.